Hello and welcome to your reading. As you can see, there are no zodiac signs and no pick a card. This message will find who it is meant to find when it is meant to find you. So let's see what message found you right now. You have the King of Swords. The Two of Cups. The Page of Swords. Okay. Recently you came into alignment with an idea that you have been trying to materialize. This is this is like a mentality that you've been wanting to materialize. So recently, I feel like in the last couple hours, so even in the last 48 hours, it has been a very big mental and energetic breakthrough point for you, because there is a specific mentality that you have been working on, a specific mentality that you have been wanting to start living by, start wanting to materialize for you, and you came into alignment with it. So what is this energy about you coming into alignment with this mentality? Page of Wands. Okay, so I feel like you have a better understanding about this mentality that you are starting to live by right now, the one that you just had a breakthrough from. So first things first, things are about to speed up. Okay, you have the Knight of Wands here. The Knight of Wands is the fastest moving card of the whole entire deck. So things are about to speed up. That's first. But then there's also an underlining energy here. This feels like someone who has a lot of ideas. Quick ideas too. Someone with a very creative mind. But this is also someone that follows divine order. And this is someone that that follows divine order and almost like wants their mentality and the ideas that they have to be in order, to have a step-by-step process. This is step one, and then you reach a certain point, and then you are able to go into step two, and then you reach a certain point, and then you're able to go into step three, and you reach a certain point. So this is very structured thinking, but a lot of quick ideas. Now, this is someone who thought that their quick ideas burn out quickly as well, and this is something that they have been connecting to the universe to, connecting with the divine to. They've been asking the universe why. Like, they were so certain that that one idea was going to be the idea, that one passion was going to be it, that one moment was going to be the moment, but then it burns out. Because they've been working on a mentality. They've been working on building a King of Swords mentality. If the King of Swords is disappointed, the King of Swords is detached. So if the King of Swords gets disappointed by a Page of Wands idea. So a Page of Wands idea is, it feels whole body. It feels like, oh my God, you're about to change the world. But because the Page of Wands ideas is a little bit inexperienced, it sometimes burns out quickly because it needs the Knight of Wands energy to actually carry it forward and carry it through. So the Page of Wands was here, but the Knight of Wands wasn't there. This person didn't have that energy to actually help them and carry them through and carry this idea through. The idea didn't have the energy from the Knight of Wands to actually carry it through into the universe and into the physical. Okay, So if the King of Swords is disappointed that his idea didn't materialize, didn't get carried through in the way that he wanted to immediately, he just switched his strategies. He doesn't spend 2 seconds disappointed. He doesn't spend 2 seconds overthinking about what could have been different. He spends 1 second processing it, and he moves on very quickly. He moves on to the next thing. He moves on to the next idea. He moves on to the next approach, because the King of Swords is about strategy. The King of Swords is like, okay, that is my idea. My idea is really freaking good. How am I going to deliver this into the universe? Judgment. How am I going to deliver this into the physical Knight of Wands? What do I do? So if one thing don't work out, switches it immediately, because for the King of Swords is about alignment. You have the Two of Cups right next to it. So this King of Swords energy right here is about alignment. You've switched over into the mentality where you are not going to be disappointed for 2 seconds. You're not going to be out for the count for 5 seconds. You are going to experience it for 1 second. You're going to integrate it. You're going to accept it. You are going to remain detached from it, and you are going to keep working towards it, because one of your methods will land. That is the mentality of the King of Swords, that something that he's going to do is going to work. What is his Judgment energy? It looks really interesting. I feel like this has to do with the universe currently. You're a very deep thinker. Very deep. Sometimes, okay, I understand why you went on this journey for this King of Swords. And I even understand this High Priestess, how you see how this person's head is like covered, like their third eye is covered, their crown is covered with this energy. It's because they're such a deep thinker that they sometimes get stuck in their thinking. They get stuck in the thought process. But being a deep thinker, and even the ability to get stuck in a thought, is a blessing. It is not a curse. Because if you have a really, really great thought, a really great one, and you feel this a little bit more than full bodily, you feel this a little bit more than, oh, this is going to be a good idea. You feel this in the form of, oh, you intuitively know this, you know it. And if you get like stuck in that idea, it becomes you. It becomes you, and this world is who you are. Okay, so your reality is who you believe yourself to be. Okay, I hope that makes sense. That was so random. I didn't plan on saying that at all. That was so random. Gotta love it. Okay, so you have the King of Pentacles. So the strategy is changing a little bit here. Yeah, the strategy is changing a little bit. I'm getting this energy that this mentality has been reached. The law of detachment is being practiced. Now, when it comes to the law of detachment, you are detaching from the outcome. You're just detaching from it. You're not letting it go in a form of like, it's not going to be a part of your life anymore. You don't want it anymore. You're done with it. No, that is not the law of the law of detachment. The law of detachment states that you are letting go of your perceived idea of how this should turn out and in the timeline that this should turn out. Because in holding on to the idea of exactly how it should happen down to the finest detail, and holding on to the idea of the timeline down to the finest hour actually puts a lot more pressure and a lot more stress and anxiety on your system. It like clouds your system with all of these chaotic thought patterns, because you're putting yourself on a timer, you're putting yourself on one specific outcome. Now, in order to feel the magic of this world, and in order to feel the magic of the universe, is to let go of specific outcomes and specific timelines, because then you can actually go on the ride. You can actually go on the ride of the world, the ride of the... Okay, it cut off, but I am back. So you can actually go on the journey. So sometimes we think we know better. We think that this is the only path because it's the only path that we can perceive. But the universe is absolutely limitless with possibilities, and there are so many different paths as to how we can reach our desired outcome. And sometimes the path that we're thinking about, the path that leads us exactly to that wish fulfillment, is a path that is just not aligned with us. It's a path that will hurt the most. It's a path that will be torturous, you know? But then there's a different path that the universe has. There's a path that is more aligned with us, that still takes us to the desired outcome, that still takes us to what we are working towards. But it's being open to the possibilities of the paths, of the different paths of getting there. Okay, so that is the law of detachment. That is what you are following. You are following the law of detachment in this like next phase in your life, because you are tired of holding on to the same idea and receiving the same outcome. You are realizing now that if that specific way of thinking was the way that you were going to think yourself into that outcome, it would have happened by now. So you are releasing that specific way of thinking that keeps you in a hanged man position, that keeps you that keeps you in this hanged man position, almost like holds you hostage. You are letting go of it because you're like, it would have happened by now. Because life isn't about sacrificing, and it's not about suffering. Regardless of what you were told, you're not meant to sacrifice your sanity, or meant to suffer in order to be worthy of receiving a goal or receiving a wish fulfillment. So you are detaching from that. You are letting go of what you can't control. You are putting in the work what you can control, like you can show up. You can set your alarm. You can do that. You can go to that interview. You can create that business plan. You can write that book. But you're letting go of what you can't control. Is it going to be picked up? You don't know. And you let it go. Are they even going to care? You don't know. You let it go. Is it even going to work? You don't know. You let it go. You showed up. You put in the work. That is the law of detachment. And I'm telling you, I think it's going to surprise you. I think there's going to be a transformation in your finances almost immediately upon you adapting this law of detachment state of thinking. It also protects you from burnout. Okay, so the law of detachment also protects you from burnout. Okay, so this is your reading. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. What a interesting one. I did not expect it to be a reading like this at all. It's never planned like what these readings are going to be or anything like that. I quite literally sit down and I'm like, what deck do I want to play with today? And then I just film. I just like quite literally speak to you, and that's it. So this was an interesting one. Very interesting. Okay, bye.